Hello and welcome, Orla B here, and welcome to our latest Epic Masterclass. In this masterclass, we are going to help you create content that connects, changes lives, and converts. So, essentially, what we're looking at is showing you exactly how to structure your content so that it connects with your customers. It has the desired impact in that it changes their lives for the better, and also it converts. It encourages them to take the next step along your customer journey and to buy from you, really. So, what are we going to cover in this content masterclass? We're going to cover why is content creation so important, the most important thing in any content plan, and the big mistake many people make. We will look at a content framework and help you create your own. Then we will look at adjusting your framework for all mediums, so for all of the different ways of communicating with your target market, and then how to reuse your content. We don't want you to go to all of this effort to create this amazing content to only use it once. We want you to be able to reuse that time and time again, but also to do it in a way that doesn't look repetitive for your customer, but also something that means that when you create something once, it has more than one use. So, in this training, why is content creation so important? As I've just said, we're going to show you how you will learn to structure your content for maximum impact and to save you time and effort. But content is so important right now because content marketing is the new marketing. It is not a case that you just broadcast how amazing how amazing your product or service is, or you cannot just create a poster that says buy from me now and expect people to take action. You have to court your customers. You have to date them. You have to romance them. You have to make them feel special. And the only way to do this is through content and is through creating the right content. Content matters. It allows you to stand out from your competition. And also, people will buy your philosophy before they buy what it is that you do. What does that mean? Well, let's be honest here. There are very, very few brand spanking new industries. You are probably in a market where you have competition. You are probably in a market where your competitors are very good. Some of your competitors might be cheaper than you. And you want your customer to choose you. And you want your customer to choose you over your competitors. And that's where your philosophy comes in. That's where your story comes in. That's where what makes you different. That is what your customers are going to choose, what you stand for. That is what's going to make you stand out from the competition. And when you convey that in your content, it's an absolutely fantastic way of helping customers buy from you and build your community of outstanding customers. And content really changes lives. When you have a product or service that really makes a difference in the eyes of the consumer and in their consumers' lives, the right content can change lives because it can provide insight. It can provide a step-by-step approach. It can provide exactly what they need that is the answer to their problem. Now, before we go any further, it is important to stress, and we will use examples, that content creation is essential for all businesses, not just services. If you have a product, your content matters, and if you sell a service, your content matters. Regardless of what you sell, content is essential. We're going to start with a little quote. Our job is not to create content. Our job is to change the world of the people who consume it. How beautiful is that? And you're probably sitting there now thinking, I don't have much to share. My content's average, or my content's not quite where I want it to be. That's absolutely okay. The whole purpose of this training is to get inside your brain and to root out all of that amazing content and to structure it in a way that you feel confident that it's going to change the life of your customers. Now, some obvious benefits of having a content plan. Well, it builds brand awareness. Getting your content out there builds awareness of your brand. It adds value and educates your audience into what makes you different. So, when you tell an amazing story, when you provide a case study, and when you do a free training, when you do a how to use your product, it adds value and educates. It strengthens your bond with your customers. If your customers are following you on social media, if they're opening your email, if they're attending your event, your content is developing that bond. It generates leads for your businesses. You can provide amazing content, tell a fantastic story, and at the end, you can tell your customers how to take the next step. Absolutely amazing. It demonstrates credibility. There are all sorts of ways that you can structure your content to demonstrate credibility. You can have news articles, case studies, testimonials. You can tell stories in a way that it positions you as the expert. And it also has SEO and other benefits. Blogs, YouTube videos, all of these things regularly updated. Your social media does improve your SEO. So obviously creating content and unique content, not regurgitating the same old crap that's out on the internet time and time again. Unique content, something that people haven't seen before. So your story, your philosophy, your approach told your way, that is essential for the growth of your business. But then why is it that so many people don't have a content plan? Why is it that so many people just scratch their head, think of content, put it out there, get pissed off when it doesn't connect with their customers, start to copy their competitors' content because they have no ideas of their own? Like, why do they not create a content plan? Because here's what happens when you don't have a content plan. You blend in with your competitors because your story, your philosophy is what makes you stand out, why you do what you do, why you develop that amazing product, why you developed your amazing service. That is what makes you stand out. So when you don't have a content plan, you blend in with your competitors. Or, worse still, you copy your competitors. You're not sure. You don't have a content plan. You're pushed for time. You're working when the kids are busy and you're thinking, okay, I've got 5 minutes to get some work done. And what content will I put out? Oh, I know I need to update my social media. I know I need to send out a newsletter. What will I do? And all of a sudden, you search your competitors' profiles for ideas and you mimic what they do. But you don't know where they got their freaking ideas in the first place. So when people don't have a content plan, they copy their competitors. That makes them boring and they don't stand out from the crowd. And your customers forget about you because they cannot tell a difference between you and the other company offering the same product or service. You spend hours and hours laboring over what to share and it's still not hitting the mark because you don't have a plan. And your confidence starts to suffer and you feel like you have nothing to share and no one wants to listen to you. And that is the worst thing that can happen because believe me, and I'm begging you to believe me, customers want what you offer. Customers want your approach. They do, but they need you to strip yourself back, get rid of the bullshit, connect with the real you and share your story. And that's what this training is going to help you do. Because the big mistake is not having a plan and constantly looking for new content ideas to share that don't always connect with your customers and spending way longer than you should on content creation. Because let's not beat around the bush here. Content creation is the long game. It's going to take you longer to build relationships with your customer than what would have worked 20, 30 years ago. So content creation is a massive investment of your time. So it's essential that you do it properly, and it's essential that you have a system in place to free you up to looking after your customers, to making your product, to perfecting your service. Your content creation is one part of many things that add to the success of your business. And as a solopreneur, you need to be doing everything, and that's what we're going to help you do. So what is the secret to success? It's that people need to understand the why before they can do the what. Now, you'll notice in all of my trainings, I talk about understanding before implementation. Because if you can help people understand the why, you have made a difference in their life. So we see all these 5-day challenges, step-by-step approach, download your free meal plan, sign up for your free training, these how to use my products, how to do this makeup tutorial, how to create this thing. And those things are so important. They're so important. However, before people are ever going to sign up for your challenge, take part in your step-by-step process, before people are ever going to do that, they have to understand the philosophy. They have to understand the why it's important. They have to understand before they're ever going to implement. And most importantly, they have to understand before they are ever going to purchase from you. And we're going to cover all of these things in your content framework. Now, when you are building your content framework, this can be used for absolutely everything. So if you were writing a book, you could use it for writing a book. If you were writing a blog post, you can use this framework condensed for writing a blog post. If you're creating a training, you can use it for creating a training. But essentially what we're going to do in this training is we're going to mine your brain and get all of the ideas out of your brain to help you create a content plan that you can use in building relationships with your customers. But it's very adaptable, this, and I would recommend that you follow the step-by-step process. If there's anything that's not quite clicking, pop me an email, hello@orlab.com, so that we can help you crack this and create the best content that you possibly can. So here are the 7 steps of building your content framework. The first is purpose. What is the purpose of your content? The second is your key concepts. The third is your philosophy backed up with your story. The fourth is tactics, and this is where your step-by-step approach comes in. So you're always going to provide tactical information. You're always going to provide how-tos in your content. You know, my 5-day exercise challenge, my 5-day nutrition challenge, my 5-day social media challenge, my how to use this product. You're always going to provide that information, but it's not the most important thing of your content just yet. You have other things that you need your customers to understand before the how-to. Then we're going to look at social proof, and finally the emotions. So helping customers with the do's and don'ts once they kind of take everything on board. So let's dive right in. Number 1, what is the purpose of your content? Well, really, you're going to have an end goal, aren't you? You're going to have an end goal that you want customers to achieve. So whether that's to help them, lose weight, tone up, improve their social media channels, improve their website, to buy from you, you're going to have a goal for your content. So in your workbooks, I need you to consider, what is the goal of your content? To sign up as part of your network marketing team, to buy your product, to become a supplier of your product. What is your end goal? And then we're going to look at the starting point, because the starting point is where they are now, So are they familiar with what you offer? Do they know about you and your business? Have they met you at a networking event? Have they met you at a fair? Have they never heard of you? What is the starting point? So where are they starting? And then I want you to simply look at some key concepts. So in order for you to take your client from where they are now in relation to understanding about you and your business to the end goal and the action that you want to take to buying from you, signing up for your freebie, agreeing to stock your product, agreeing to come to your event, what are the key concepts that you need them to understand? Now, key concepts are the high level thing. So for example, if I was selling a skincare product and I wanted somebody to buy my skincare product over anyone else's, I could dive straight in there and talk about, this amazing skincare technology that nobody else has. The fact that it's got the most beautiful bottle. The fact that it's on offer now when you buy one and you get half price. But that's very tactical. That's too step by step, and your customers maybe aren't ready for that right now. What you want to help them understand is the concept. So maybe the concept is that they deserve youthful skin. Maybe the concept is that they deserve the best skincare technology that no one else has discovered. What are the key concepts that you need them to understand? And we're going to look at some examples of these key concepts. So if you're a fitness instructor, you're maybe not going to launch straight in there with, this is my plan. We do a 6-week transformational plan and you will drop 10 pounds. No. When you're structuring your content, when you're mining your brain to get all of the ideas as to how you can help someone out, you need to think, what are the 4 concepts? So it might be nutrition. Well, I need them to understand the concept of good nutrition. I need them to understand the concept of exercise and the concept of movement. I need them to understand the concept of mindset, how your mindset will fuck you up when you're trying to get fit if you don't control it. And maybe the last concept is happiness. It shouldn't all be about their weight and how they look. How can they have fun again? So all of a sudden your content takes on a different level because you're helping people understand the bigger things, So you can help people as a fitness instructor more than one way. If you help them understand about healthy eating and they capture that first, your step-by-step process and how you implement your fitness plans takes on a whole different level of effectiveness because you genuinely care about the bigger picture. Let's dive a bit deeper here and look at a transformational coach. You're not going to go straight in and talk, these are my packages, I'm a transformational coach, I'm amazing. No, there's so much more that you can share to help your customer, your client. One of the concepts might be mindset, how to get them into the right mindset, vision, action, support. If you're a wedding planner, some of your key concepts might be vision, the vision for the right wedding, how every bride and bride, groom and groom, whatever works for them, how everyone needs the right vision for the wedding. And then it's the right venue, the right dress, and the right fun and the right atmosphere. So do you see now how, as a wedding planner, you can create contents along these themes? And it's like, wow, I've got so much more to talk about. For accountants, it could be that finance matters, that finance is the backbone of your business. And yes, we're all about helping customers and we're all about being amazing, but finance matters. Your money mindset, have you got any blocks in there that will stop you earning money and will make you hide from your income? Becoming profit driven and getting the right processes, so automating things, getting the right processes in there. So I want to ask you a question. What are your key concepts? So what 4 things must your client understand in order to get them from where they are to where they need to be? In order for them to understand why you are the right person to help them. Okay, I want you to head over to your worksheets and to write that in. And I've got some concept examples here. So first of all is Natalie Jill Fit. She is a personal trainer who has taken Instagram by storm. And what she talks about is her concepts is level up and get radical results. Live a healthy and successful life that you deserve. So what you'll notice there straight off the bat is this is her website. She's not talking about, how many push-ups you're going to do. She's not talking about, going running every day. She's not talking about the actual exercises that she walks people through. No. She's talking about the concepts that you deserve a healthy and successful life, that you deserve to get radical results. So it's results-based and a healthy and successful life are 2 of her concepts. Over here, we have my good friend, Wagamamas. Everyone knows that I love Wagamamas. So if you go to their website, they've got these amazing photos of people eating. And videos even. And it's fantastic. It looks like so much fun. But if you look at what they offer and what their concepts are, it's mindfulness. It's mindfulness in the food. It's cooking food mindfully. It's sustainability. Another concept that they're trying to get you on board with is sustainable food, using sustainable ingredients. Vegan, the fact that it's healthy, the fact that it's fresh, and the Wagamama story, so they tell their story as well. So some of the concepts that Wagamama are trying to get you on board with when you land on their website is the mindfulness way of cooking food, the sustainability, and the vegan, the healthiness side. So you're not landing on their website and they're not saying, oh, this is our main dish, here it is. They are getting you to buy into the concepts as well. And I think that's really important. And the last one there that I've covered is a new product that's out by Pantene, New Hair Biology. So they're not saying, buy our shampoo, it's amazing. They're saying, for a lifetime of great hair. That's the concept they want us as potential customers to buy into first and foremost. It is the concept of a lifetime of great hair. Now, for many people, you'll know that I'm very results based and I talk about the transformations an awful lot. Your concepts are very similar to your transformations because it's about what you want people to buy into, what they need to get their head round before they go on the next step on a journey with you. I've taken another example here of NAK. I don't know how you say it. Is it NAK or NAC? But it's no animal killed. And basically they make the most amazing vegan shoes. These incredible, you can see there, that's from their website, those, the men's shoes and the ladies' boots there. But when I logged on, they didn't go shoe, here's the shoe, here's the boots. They tried to get me on board with the concepts. Fashion should be beautiful and reflect in the eye what we see in the soul. Amazing. Fashion should make you feel good through and through. So do you notice there's two concepts there straight away? It's that fashion should be beautiful and fashion should make you feel good. And if you can get your head around those things, it's going to be much easier for you to want to buy then a vegan boot and pay more money for it. At NAK, we are keeping true to these ideals while at the same time starting a revolution. We do not believe in killing animals to satisfy our desires to appear beautiful. That time is over. At NAK, we are proud to present to you with the perfect alternative. So do you see there already we have got 4 key concepts. Fashion should be beautiful. Fashion should make you feel good. We do not believe in killing animals to satisfy our desires to appear beautiful. And they're proud to present the perfect alternative. So just a fantastic view there of how people present some key concepts. So once you've decided on your concepts, you then want to start telling a story. And you want to tell a story about when did you experience what your clients are currently going through? When did you experience what your clients are currently going through? How did you deal with the situation and how did you motivate yourself to take action? So I want you to take your 4 key concepts, So if we go back to the example of the personal trainer, and one of the key concepts is mindset. So when did you struggle with your mindset in relation to keeping fit? When did you struggle with your mindset where it tried to stop you, taking action? How did you overcome this? What did you do? How did you change the way your mindset worked? And start to tell your story. Then move on to nutrition. When it came to nutrition, when was there a time when you didn't eat very well? When was there a time when you struggled to make healthy meals? How did you overcome that? What did you do? So once you've determined what your 4 key concepts are, the next thing for you to do is to start telling your story, and to start telling your story in relation to all of those key concepts. Okay. This is something that we see time and time again. It's called the common element. Is people try to, be really common with people and really connect and be relatable by telling their story. So you'll notice on YouTube, there's an amazing video on YouTube where Jim Carrey tells a story about himself writing himself a £5 million check and how he wrote that check, he put it in his back pocket and he took it out years later and he'd just been paid that amount of money for the mask. Like, Jim Carrey doesn't need to tell a story that's 25 years old, but he tells that story because it's relatable to us. He tells that story because us, as people going to movies, as people, going to the cinema, watching Netflix, watching Amazon Prime, we can't relate to a multi-million-pound actor. We can't relate to that. We can't relate to his lifestyle now, but we can relate to how he felt when he was an aspiring actor. We can relate to this idea of having a dream and wanting to achieve it. When Tony Robbins gets on stage and he tells his story, he doesn't tell the story about, how he's got millions of pounds in the bank and how successful he is and how he travels the world and all these things. No, he tells a story about his mum and not getting along well with his mum and how his mum wasn't a very good mum a lot of the time. He tells a story about being really poor and having no food and somebody knocking on the door to give them food. You know, he tells the story that relates to his audience now because he wants to show them that he has overcome the same thing that they are now experiencing. He wants to show his audience that he gets it, that that concept that he wants people to understand, he's been through it, and he wants you to understand that. And another example is Beyonce. We've all seen the videos of Beyonce from years ago training with the rest of the girls of Destiny's Child and working hard and working hard. And that video, when she first became famous, came out and came out and came out. And it was about us relating to a young girl with a dream and a young girl who worked hard, and she was telling her story, and she talks about that. So your story is essential, and your story for your 4 key concepts. You need to tell a story in relation to the 4 key things that you want your customers to understand, because your story in relation to all of these is relatability. You know, your story is, who hasn't dreamed of being a princess? Who hasn't dreamed of marrying a prince? Now, I'm not going to lie, it used to be William till he went bald. Harry has aged better, but who hasn't dreamed about marrying a prince, you know? But all of a sudden, somebody like Meghan Markle comes along and she tells her story, this American woman, she comes in, and it's just an absolutely beautiful story, but it makes you more relatable, because what do you see when you look at Meghan Markle? You think, that could be me, you know? You think, okay, she's from an ordinary background, you know, she's worked hard, she's achieved her own success, but that could still be me. You know, she wasn't born into this royalty. She wasn't born in a princess, you know, so it's possible. So your story makes you relatable, and your story demonstrates that the results that you've achieved, it's also possible for your clients to achieve, you know. And again, I'm going to have to stress, if we look back at the NAK example, no animals killed, it works for product-based businesses and it works for service-based businesses. So we're going to look at how you're going to tell your before story. You know, it makes you relatable. It shows you know the hardship of the process and understand the emotion. You know what it was like not to have good skin. You know what it was like not to have that product that you really wanted. You know what it was like taking a sofa to the tip when you knew it could be reused. You know, it enables you to connect with your audience. It helps your followers understand the bigger picture. So I want you to go to your workbooks and think, when did you struggle with the same things that your clients are struggling with right now? When did you struggle with that? What did you do? And how did you overcome this issue? Okay, and I want you to dig deep. And then, my friend, then you move on to the tactics. Then you move on to giving them some tactical advice in your content. You know, so you're going to scrape through the brain. This is where you talk them through your step-by-step process, you know, how to sign up. This is when you talk them through your meal plans, your challenges, your how-to videos, how to use your product, you know. This is when you take them through absolutely everything. So I want you to think of all those adverts you see on Facebook for meal plans, marketing plans, 5-day challenges, user guides, you know. How many times have you bought, I don't know if any of you got a NutriBullet or a Nutri-Ninja, I've got both, okay? And they all come with the most amazing how-to guide with like 74 recipes for juice. Every time you buy a juicer, it comes with a free juice recipe. And there's a reason for that. They want us to use it quite quickly. We've already bought into the concept of, you know, juice and nutrition being good for your health, and now they want us to start using it. So once you've determined your concept and you've written out your story, get down to the nitty-gritty. Provide actual advice. Provide actual ways that they can improve their life by taking those small steps. Write out a meal plan for them. Write out a website audit for them. Write out a social media plan. Write out a 5-day challenge. You know, give them some user guides. Give them some videos. You know, show them exactly the 5-step process for finding that ideal venue for an event. Show them how to choose the best place to go out with your kids. You know, this is where you give them the step-by-step process. This is where you get down into the nitty-gritty. Okay, so you're going to go to your workbook and you're going to mine your brain, get all of this information out and get it down on paper. And the next step that you're going to do is you're going to then look at social proof and some case studies. Another absolutely key piece of content is case studies. You want to back up your philosophy with stories of previous customers, those people you have helped, and how they've achieved what your customer now wants to achieve. Case studies are key because, at the end of the day, I know your content is helpful, and I know you're an amazing person, and I know that you genuinely care, but you're still trying to sell to the audience. When they see somebody just like them who's experienced those results, it takes it to a new level. This peer-to-peer sharing shows it's possible for them, and it just propels you in the eyes of your customer. And finally, the last element of your content framework. Now, I told you we would be digging deep. We would be getting all of the information out of your head. So never, ever, ever again do I want to hear you say you do not have any content ideas, because I know you have got loads. The next thing is about the emotion, because there is going to be emotion involved in taking any new step and purchasing from you. There is going to be something in their head that tells them it's not quite right for them now. There's going to be something in their head that tells them, no, now's not the right time. I shouldn't invest in this. This isn't right for me, So you want to acknowledge this in your content, and you want to say something like, come on, guys, I know I am giving you a load of information in this training. I know I'm asking you to take a lot of action here, but all I'm asking that you do is you cover one concept. Just cover one concept, write out the story for one concept, write out the case study for one concept. That's all I'm asking you to do, because I know it's an awful lot, but when you do it, I guarantee it, you'll see results, That's what you've got to do with your customers. What are the fears that they are going to experience, and common fears is that they're going to lose something. If somebody pays somebody, it's this loss of money, so how are you going to show them that they're going to gain? If they're looking to lose weight, how are you going to show them that it's not going to be about losing all of their favorite foods? How are you going to acknowledge that, but show them everything that they're going to gain? And this is the same for everything. When you purchase something, how are you going to say, okay, you've purchased this new product, yeah, you're going to lose money and it's going to cost money, but here are all the things that you are going to gain. And hardships and disappointment. Oftentimes people put up barriers and they put up excuses to take action, and they can't quite pinpoint why. And one of the things is this fear of disappointment, this fear that they're going to do all of the work, but they're not going to see the results anyway. This fear that they're going to build a website, that they're going to hire a social media consultant, that they're going to hire a childcare provider, that they're going to put all of this thing and their kid won't be happy, that it's not going to work for them, so you have to hit this emotion head on, and you really, really have to get emotion in there and just answer the questions. Just think, okay, how can I help them become more confident? Your step-by-step process gives them the confidence. It shows them how to use what you offer, but how can you give them that more confidence? How can you talk about the fears? Because it's not about how people do something, it's encouraging them and going and giving them confidence to do it in the first place and to follow through, Acknowledge and embrace emotion in your content, and you'll make a real difference in your business. So what this basically means is if you go straight in there and say, okay, buy now, sign up for my challenge, buy my product, and you don't cover the emotion, you may bump into some problems. So I really, really, really want you to list out, okay, all of the fears that these people are going to have about buying what you offer, and then list out all of the ways that you could counteract that in your content by saying, I get it. I absolutely get that this is a fear for you right now. But, Mary felt the same way. Mary felt the same way before she signed up, but look at Mary now. And this, for the emotions, you can use your case studies to kind of counteract these emotions as well. Okay, my friend, how to tell your story. And there is a step-by-step process in the workbook. I want you to take a key concept. I want you to create your story behind it. Then I want you to get down into the nitty gritty and consider, what are the step-by-step processes? What do they need to do? How do you give them fundamental steps in terms of, here are the steps in the service that I provide. Here is exactly how to use my product. Gather some case studies and testimonials and work out how you're going to share it, So when we look at reusing your content, you don't want to create all of this content and, be creating it time and time and time again. You want to be able to reuse it. So if you look at the photo then, what we basically want is to create a content wardrobe. We want to create a safe space where we store all of your content, and when we need it, we open up your wardrobe, we take it off the hanger, and we go and we wear that. We just reuse it as necessary. We come back and put it back in. Because one piece of content, it's like a wardrobe, it can go a long way. It can be used across all platforms. So here is an example of my content wardrobe from my desktop. So I have it on my desktop, but I also have it in my iCloud. So I create a folder for each of my 4 key concepts. So when I'm working with entrepreneurs who want to grow a business, the 4 key concepts that I want to help them understand is, firstly, you need to become campaign driven in your marketing. People won't want to buy the same thing all year round. There are going to be natural times when more people are going to want to buy it and take advantage of this and become campaign driven. To become an entrepreneur first, to focus on you, the business person. You, the business person, is the most important thing in this, because these skills are transferable. And if you change your mind and you decide to start up a different business, having these skills now will stand to you. The third thing is that everything is marketing. Marketing isn't just something you do to help people buy what you offer. Everything that you do is marketing. And the fourth is mindset. Running your own business is hard, so I want people to understand that the right mindset is key, and cultivating the right mindset is key. So I have these folders on my desktop, and then inside that I will add my story. So I've written my story about when I realized it was important to become campaign driven, when I realized my mindset was important so I can connect with people. And then I've added in case studies and testimonials for all of these areas, and the emotion, what would hold somebody back from becoming campaign driven? Confidence is a big one. They don't have the confidence to run a campaign. Timing is another one. And the lack of planning. What happens if I run a marketing campaign and it doesn't work? What happens if I run a marketing campaign and still no one buys? All that work and no one buys, And then I can provide a step-by-step process that says, okay, here is how we will create your campaign. Here's how we will plot out your promotions. Here's how we'll plot out your communication, So that is my content wardrobe. And if I see a quote that works, or a quote that might inspire somebody to have the right mindset, I will save a quote in there. Oftentimes it's screenshots on my phone and I save it in there. If I'm walking down the street and I see ideas of some really good marketing and some really good ways of promoting a business, I'll take a photo and I'll save it in there. So I've created a content wardrobe based on the key concepts that matter most to my customers and that I need customers to get their head around before they're going to become the entrepreneur that they really, really want to be. So going over to your workbook, I want you to write out your story. I want you to write out your personal story relating to the 4 key concepts. So again, mindset, why it was important to me, when I became campaign driven, when I realized that everything in business is marketing, including community building, when I realized I was an entrepreneur first and started to build my business that way. And then I want you to write out the step-by-step processes, the fun part. Get down to the nitty gritty and create some content with some step-by-step processes. What challenges can you create for the concepts? What challenges can you create for your customers? What challenges can you create to help people get their head around the right nutrition? To help people find the right venue? To help people get out and about more with their family? What challenges can you create to help people use less plastic? To use less to reuse items in their home. You know, what challenges can you create? What practical steps can you talk them through? Recipes, workouts, makeup tutorials. You know, there's always a place for this how to, this demonstration, this you guiding them. It's just that's not the only thing that your content should do. So here are some more step-by-step examples. You could create some memes to share on social media. You could have some mindset motivation. You could create some live trainings and blogs on how to build a marketing plan. You could create some challenges on how to develop a stronger entrepreneurial mindset. You can see I'm going through my concepts here. You can do some how-to YouTube videos, Instagram stories and insights. You know, whatever you create, save it in your content wardrobe for future use. And that's a top tip here. When you create a story, video training, when you're telling people exactly what to do, at the same time, create a meme, create a photo, you know, look for a quote, look for all of the different ways of complementing this content so that you always have something on hand to reuse in the future. And then you're not going to be stuck for content anymore. Because if you get an idea about mindset, you just save it in that folder. If you get an idea about being an entrepreneur first, you just save it in that folder. Whatever your key concepts are, whenever you come across an idea that relates back to that, save it in that folder. I want you to get your social proof. I want you to get crystal clear on the case studies. So set yourself some targets for case studies from current and previous customers. And in those case studies, make your customer the hero. It is all about them. They are the most important thing. How do they feel before working with you, purchasing your product? You know, what hesitation do they have about working with you or buying what you offer? Now, if you can get a hesitation into a testimonial, into a case study, that is absolutely gold, because then what you have is you have peer-to-peer. You have another customer telling another customer that they had the same hesitation as they have, but it was overcome by buying what you offer or buying your product or investing in your service. You know, how do they feel now that they've worked with you or used your product? You know, and when it comes to case studies, you know, write them out. Turn them into quotes, break them down, and create images to go with those quotes, turn them into videos, you know, get Magesto or get Facebook and turn these testimonials and case studies into videos. You can reuse this content over and over and over. And let's not forget the emotions. You know, what emotions, get so clear on what emotions will crop up from your clients when they discover your product or service. You know, what would hold them back? So example, investing in a website designer is a big deal, and you might be scared to put yourself out there and share your business with the world. So you shy away and you convince yourself that you don't need a website. You know, but this is why. This is why I help you create a website that is customer focused and takes the focus off you and onto your customers that you want to support. So, you know, acknowledge that emotion and show them how you can help them overcome it, you know? So another example, investing in a handmade bag from reclaimed leather is an investment because it's quite a lot of money because it's a bespoke handmade product. So you're probably thinking, oh my God, why would I spend that money? You know, I'm nervous about spending that money. And this is where you talk about, of course you're nervous about spending that money, but it's handmade. It's hand stitched. I spent hours laboring over this to make it the right for you. So it's going to stand the test of time. And in addition to that, it looks good. It looks absolutely beautiful. And sure, it won't save the animal who suffered originally for the sofa, but it will stop future animals suffering because we don't need any more. You know, we don't need any more animals to suffer for leather bags because we have enough products out there. And it will help save the planet from more waste as leather items go straight to landfill, you know. So overcome the emotions that they're going to have. Talk about it in your content, you know. Talk about it in blog posts. Talk about it in Facebook Lives, you know. Get crystal clear and just be gentle with your customers, you know, because these are genuine concerns that they have. And I want you to be gentle and I want you to help them overcome it. Okay, a quick recap, my friends, and I know there's been so much to take on board in this masterclass, and it's really about you understanding it. And if you can take away one thing, that is, what are the key concepts? You know, what are the key things that you want your customers to understand in order to help them achieve their goals. Write them out, because content is the key to business success, and if you can tell your story, it helps you break through the noise in the market and stand out from your competition. Your content should both educate, entertain, and guide clients towards taking the next step. And really, that will only happen if you get to the root of their emotions and get to the root of what's holding them back. Okay, play around with how best to share your content and just structure it in a way for maximum impact. So when you go through everything that's in this training, you're going to have loads of ideas, and you're going to have loads and loads and loads of content to share. And essentially, your business is going to be stronger for it, and you're going to make the world a better place. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to seeing you in future epic masterclasses. Bye for now. Orla.